Hey guys, welcome to another ServerMiner plugin tutorial. I'm your host LTJim007 and today we're looking at the Uber Enchant plugin. Now this is an absolutely fantastic plugin which allows you to put any enchantment, any name, any lore on any item you want. It's highly usable, you can do anything with it and you can just have a lot of fun with it. So we're going to go through some examples that I've made and we're going to look at all of the commands and everything you can do with it. And yeah, so first of all, let's go ahead and look at some of the things that I've made a few minutes ago. So if we open up the chest, we can see there is a test sword, and this has a cool name with different colours and fire aspect 1000. So if we hit this sheep, he will be set on fire and pretty much killed instantly. So you can have ridiculous enchantments, up to 5000 or even more. And this butter helmet has level 9999. And then you can change the lore as well. You can do loads of different color codes, or you can have an item with every single enchantment that you can think of with one simple command. And if you go for a number too high, you will have this negative minus 31,072 number. So those are the sorts of things you can do. Obviously I wouldn't recommend going that high. Probably 1000 is a good number to be at. But if we put this back in, we can start creating our own. So if we do /u add, we can choose between adding a name, lore, enchantment or effect. So if we choose effect to begin with, this will affect ourselves, so we can give ourselves blindness, hunger, jump boost, levitation, damage, health boost. So if we go with jump boost and then choose a amount of time in seconds, so 10 seconds and strength 5. And then if we jump, we will be able to jump really high for 10 seconds. And you can do this for any amount of time and any strength you want. Let's go ahead and change to night vision, and let's set that to 5 seconds and then 5 strength. But obviously we need to set it to night first, and there you go. So we have night vision and then it disappears, and if we repeat the command we will get it back for 5 seconds. So that's really cool that you can do that. And if we go ahead and set it back today, we can start customizing this sword. So let's go ahead and set an enchantment for it. So if we do enchantment and then pick whichever one we want, let's go ahead and go for knockback, one of my favorites that I like to use, and then pick a strength. So let's go with maybe 10. So that will be X here, and there we go. So if we hit something with it, it will go flying. Then if we go into the chest plate, we can change the name by doing /u add name and then choosing whatever color code, whatever format code you want. So and A is green, and 2 is a different green, and then and 9 is a blue, and L is bold. So you can really make this jazzy and look fantastic, which is awesome, and you can just mess around with all of these different weapons. Then if we go onto the bow, let's set the lore. It's a very simple command. You /u add lore and then the lore you want. So let's go with and a test 1, 2 and 3. And this is going to be on 3 separate different lines, and if you want to change it you have to do another command, but we'll look at that a bit later on. So let's go ahead and go on to the next set of commands. So if you do /u cost, and let's go ahead and go for add, enchant and affinity. If we choose maybe 5 or 10, we can see how much it would cost for this particular enchantment to be added to the weapon. So that's a pretty cool feature that you can buy them as well, but make sure you set appropriate prices. Then if we do /u set lore, the line number, so 1 and then whatever text we want, we will be able to set the particular line. So we've changed it from test 2 in green to test 0 in purple, which is really cool. So let's go ahead and check out some other commands. So if we do /udel, this will delete the enchantment. So you do udel enchant, and then the enchantment was knockback, so if we hit enter it will get rid of that and it will be back to normal. So there we go, removed knockback. So this would be pretty useful if you want to remove maybe fire aspect or an enchantment you didn't want. We can do the same for effect, we can do the same for name, and we can do the same for lore as well using the same commands. Very straightforward, which is what I like about this plugin. Now finally, we are going to look at how to add every single enchantment. So if you /u add enchant all, and then the strength. So this will set all of them to 5, even if they don't apply to the particular item. Or you can change them to 9, or a really ridiculous number like 5000. Wow, look at that. That is that's just insane. I'd hate to be on the receiving end of that. And obviously you can do /uclear and then enchant, and that will get rid of all of them. So the bow is vanilla and back to normal now. If you do /uhelp, you can reference all the commands if you need to look at them, or you can look at the spigot page. So here we are in the Uber Enchant config.yml. It's the only YML file. And in here, what we can do is set the cost and multiplier of all the different enchantments. So there is a long list, but they are all the same. So if we go up at the top, we can set the min max level and then the cost. So the standard cost is 1,000, as we saw, and then the multiplier for every level you go up is 0.02. So the removal cost is 100 and the extraction cost is also 1,000. So we can use it on something else. And what we can do here is literally just change this to maybe 1 or 2, so it will double every time you go up a different level. And then we have different aliases that people might use for this particular enchantment. Scroll down and everything else is the same. So that is everything in the config.yml. It's an absolutely fantastic plugin. I'd highly recommend you getting it. If you want to download it, go in the description for the Spigot link. If you want a server to host it on, check out ServerMiner.com for the best and cheapest hosting around. But I've been your host. I'll see you next week. Subscribe, like, comment, and goodbye.